and welcome to the first official episode of Súper Dépor. If you haven't seen the introduction episode already, don't worry, you can go back and watch that now. There'll be a card in the top right hand corner of the screen. Once you've watched that, come back and now we can begin. So we're going to start off with a bit of transfer news. We didn't really sign anyone this summer. The only transfer news that we have is a player that we couldn't recall from loan that I would have liked to. His name is Robert, a Spanish 22-year-old centre-back. He's on loan at Levante, and unfortunately the previous establishment failed to put in a clause in his contract that said I could recall him. So, a bit annoying because he'd probably be one of our starting centre-backs. If you look at his heading, marking and tackling, they're all pretty decent. And I think he would have definitely been a starter for us. So it's unfortunate that we can't recall him, but hopefully next year he'll be able to play a part in the squad. So just before we get into the tactics that we've chosen for our first game against Alaves, I thought I'd show you a few more players. So last episode we took a quick look at a few players, including all of the team leaders. So we'll quickly glance over them, see if any changes have happened. So you can see some of Mosquera's attributes have gone down, his first touch being the only technical one. I'm assuming that's because of his age. Juan Fran has stayed pretty much the same, in fact definitely the same, no changes in his attributes. And then Sydney, who is the one player in the squad that has a positive opinion of me for some reason, his attributes have not changed either. So looking at the highly influential players, we've got Lucas, who's on loan from Arsenal. When I first saw him and saw the value of 28.5 million, I got very excited and was ready to shop him out to whoever would buy him, but then I saw that he was on loan. And that quickly changed into excitement for the fact that he's going to be playing for us and hopefully scoring tons of goals this season. His best role is a false nine, but he'll be playing as a complete forward in the formation that I've chosen. Pretty solid stats, 14s across the board in terms of his dribbling, finishing and first touch, and he's hopefully going to be a very important player for us this season. Next up, Kelso Borges, the one player in the squad that dislikes me. Don't ask me why, because I don't have a clue. He's going to be in the starting lineup, centre midfield, playing in his favoured role and duty of advanced playmaker in support. His attributes, solid again, 14, 15 and 13 in his first touch, passing and technique. Another important player, 29 years old, so he's nearing the end of his career, but probably still in his prime, as it says on the coach summary there. Luisinho is another highly influential player, however he's not going to be in the starting lineup. Not in the first choice starting lineup anyway. He may get a few games in the cups or if any rotation is necessary. 32 years old, a left back. He's currently tutoring one of our younger players, so that could be more of the role that he's going to be handling for us this season. You can see some of his physical attributes have decreased as well. Still decent, 15 acceleration is very good for a 32-year-old, but he's not going to get as much game time as some of the younger players. And the final highly influential player, is Adrian, but he's currently injured, so he's not going to be in the starting lineup either. A damaged Achilles tendon will keep him out for a further 4 months. He's on loan from Porto, so I did think about possibly ending that loan spell. However, that would take us to December, January time, and that might be a very important time for us, especially if we're in any form of trouble at the bottom of the table. Not that I hope or think that we will be, but just in case. And you can see, of course, some of his attributes have decreased as well. That's probably a mix of him getting older and his age. So I thought we'd take a quick look at the tactic that I've chosen. So it is a 3-1-4-2 defensive midfield, asymmetric system. We have our three centre-backs, a defensive midfielder who annoyingly has to play on the left side of defensive midfield or the right side of defensive midfield because that's the only place where I could put him as a segundo volante, which is Guillem's best position. We also have four across the midfield with the Juan Fran and Bacardi, who are going to be our starting lineup for right midfielder and left midfielder, and then the two centre midfielders with a deep line playmaker and an advanced playmaker, and two strikers up top. I do have the option to possibly stick in a centre attacking midfielder. That would be Borges moving up to centre attacking midfield, and then Guillem would obviously cover for him. In terms of team instructions, we've got shorter passing. I want to try and make sure we don't give away any sloppy long balls because our two strikers aren't very tall, so they're not going to be able to win headers. At least that's how it works in my head. Playing wider with our two wide midfielders, and starting with the mentality of standard and team shape of flexible, but that can change depending on opponent. I've also got some backup formations as well, just in case things go a bit skew-with. Now, on to the results in pre-season. Not a very good pre-season, only 1 win, 2 draws and 2 defeats. The 1 win coming against Sporting Gijón. Sydney and Borja Valla getting our 2 goals, coming from behind, coming from 1-0 down. Not too bothered by this, as it is only pre-season. We'll see how we go about it in the first game of the season against Alaves. So just having a quick look at Alaves. They were newly promoted last season and finished 9th in the league. So hoping they've got some form of second season syndrome and they're not going to be as good this season, and hopefully we can nick the win from them. So here we are with the chosen starting 11 for the very first game against Alaves. You probably saw it in the screen when I was discussing our tactics, but I'll just go through it quickly now. So we have Ruben in goal, 33-year-old goalkeeper. In defence, we have Fabian Schär on the left-hand side, Enrico Boveda in the centre, and Sydney on the right-hand side of defence. Defensive midfielder is Guillaume in his favourite role of the segundo volante. Juan Fran is our right midfielder. Mosquera playing as the deep-lying playmaker, not in his favourite role, but he can still do it. Borges in his favourite role of the advanced playmaker in the centre of midfield. Bacali is the wide midfielder on the left-hand side of the midfield. Florian Andone is our defensive forward on the left side of the attacking line. And Loney from Arsenal, Lucas, is our other striker playing as the complete forward. I just thought I'd show you the attributes for each player just in case you wanted to pause and have a look at them. I won't be doing that for every episode. That just takes a lot of time. So on the bench, we have Titon, who's a goalkeeper, Steve Wan and Kike Fornos are defenders, Kotabia and Cholak are midfielders, Pinchy and Valla are the strikers. Let's see how we can start the season away from home against Alaves. Just before we head into the match, I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm actually running a 10k for the Alzheimer's Society on Sunday the 8th of July in memory of my dad who passed away earlier this year. So I'll leave the link in the description below. No pressure to donate anything, but if you want to give any money to the Alzheimer's Society, just click on the link below and you can do it from there. Anyway, back to Football Manager. So here we are with the match preview, and the formation of Alaves is as I expected, with their 4-2-2-2 formation, 2 defensive midfielders, hoping to protect their back 4, I guess, and then the 2 wingers who are going to be supplying the strikers of Munir and Bojan. First game of the season, I'm going to passionately say, go out there and impress me. Fabian Schär apparently looks delighted, everyone else doesn't react, but at least someone's feeling positive about the day. Apparently I have a tunnel interview. It's just the classic first game in charge. I'll be passionate throughout and say it's a special day. Can't wait to get started. It's unfair to single out John Guidetti's absence. Carlos Gil, didn't really think about him, to be honest. I mean, he's signing for us from Villa in January, but yeah, might have risked him, don't know. So we get the game underway. I'll just check that everything is set up properly. I clicked on the wrong thing. Okay. Well, we'll give it a go. We've got 2D Classic on for the highlights, and then goal replays maybe in 3D. I'll see how it looks, because sometimes it gets a bit clunky. Apparently, 5 minutes into the season, one of our strikers is injured. Florian Andone has picked up some form of injury. What is it? It's a potential knee injury. That's going to change our system completely. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring on Borja Valla for Florian Andone, and he's not very good as a defensive forward, so we are going to moving into a trequartista on attack. So that's his favoured role. We'll give him a bit of a team talk as well, try and encourage him. Very early, he wasn't expecting to get in the game this early, so I'll passionately say I've got faith in him. See how that works. Seems deep in thought. Hopefully he's thinking about what I've just said to him. Well, we've managed to make it to half time, 0-0. We've not had a shot. Alves have had 6, but they've only had 1 on target. It doesn't seem like it's been a very entertaining game, to be honest. Not many of those in La Liga today, or at least at the same time as us. Only 1 game with goals, and that's the Barcelona game, where Messi and Suarez have both scored. Messi's got injured. Okay, so looking at the team analysis, it seems as though Celso Borges has lost possession quite a bit. So perhaps he should come off. I mean, he doesn't want to play for me, so that could be affecting his performance. I'm going to passionately say it's time for everyone. No, I'm not going to say that because we don't deserve to win this match. I'll certainly say I'm far from pleased with what I just saw. Okay, so Bovada's lost confidence, but most of the players look fired up, including Borges. I might leave him on then. One thing I might do though is a slight tweak in the tactic. If we move to the pitch view, and we will move Borja Valle to attacking centre midfield, meaning Lucas is the lone striker, and we'll leave Borja Valle as a trequartista there. Okay, corner for Alaves. It's Medrian. Ellie's there. Alexis at the back post. He takes it down and falls to Bojan, and it's 1-0. Assist from Alexis. It's been coming. Alaves have been on top of us throughout this game. Yeah, this 3D replay thing is not going to work. That is way too clunky. We'll skip that, I think, and we'll change that. So we'll just have a 2D classic replay. Okay, this tactic is obviously not working. Back to the drawing board, I feel. Okay, so we've made one more change. We've made a formational change as well. We're going to our 4-2-4 formation. So Juan Fran is on for defensive midfielder Guillem, moving into right back. Bovada has been moved to left back. We've got our 2 centre backs still of Shaw and Sydney. Borges Mosquera still in centre midfield. Bakali and Pinchy. Pinchy's came on as well. Oh, Juan Fran was already on. What am I on about? Yeah, Juan Fran's moved back to the right back. Pinchy has come on for Guillem and moved to attacking right midfield. Bakali's been pushed up to attacking left midfield. Valer is back as a trequartista up front, and Lucas is playing as a false 9 on support. Bakali is the inside forward. Hopefully he's going to manage to get a goal for us. We've also changed our mentality to control and our team shape to fluid. We are going for this victory on the first day of the season. Another highlight, Pacheco plays the ball out to Eli. Now it's Medrian to Torres. We've actually had 2 shots in the game now, so hopefully we can switch this play around and make it a chance for us. It's not looking likely though. Bojan with the ball forward towards Meunier. Now it's Santos on the right hand side, plays it central to Medrian. Really need to get the ball back, but it's not going to happen. The cross is in, and Ruben catches that one at his near post. And we get a chance possibly. Lucas wins the ball, plays it to Borges. Now it's Mosquera to Lucas. It's the first time I've seen us with a bit of a chance, to be honest. Mosquera back to Borges. Now it's Lucas to Valle. Lovely link-up play. Valle plays to Mosquera. Lucas is tackled by Duarte, and it could be a counter-attacking opportunity for Alaves. Bojan is in the box. He crosses it back post. Meunier's there and he scores. It's 2-0. Meunier gets a goal in his debut. Bojan with the assist. Not the start that we wanted to this one. So take a look at the 2D replay. Duarte with a long ball forward. Bojan into the box. Plays a back post. No one marking Meunier. He just trots in there and passes it into the back of the net. Corner for Alaves. Medrian to take it. Shaw heads that away, but the chance is still there for Alaves to get a third. Ball in, headed by Bovada. Torres at the edge of the box, gives it to Santos. Santos shoots, and Christian Santos has scored a third for Alaves. Daniel Torres with the assist. Oh dear. Gonna have to completely rethink all of these tactics. The players are just all over the place. Pretty decent finish from 2D for Santos, but not good. We've got 8 minutes left. I'd be slightly happier if we can get a goal. But Carly does not look like he's going to be able to last the rest of the game, so we're going to bring on Fede Kotabia. One more highlight. Can we get a consolation goal? Borges with it. Plays it to Lucas. Now Valle. Borja Valle with a chance, but he just can't get it on target. Have we actually had we haven't had a shot on target all game. We've had 7 shots now. Not one on target. into the first minute of injury time. Alaves with the ball. Santos plays that forward to Meunier. It's just too easy. Right over our defender's head. Ruben with a good save though. Medrian, another chance for Alaves. Santos. Back to Medrian, and that's just over the top of the bar. Full time, and thank God it is, because that was absolutely terrible. Yeah, gonna have to have a proper think about players and tactics after that. I'm not going to hold back aggressively. Far from pleased with that. Only 2 players didn't react, Sydney and Fabian Shaw. The rest of them look a bit motivated, but it's all well and good looking motivated, but you need to actually show it in your game. Well, Florian Andon's injury is a sprained knee ligament, so he's going to be out for between 5 and 6 weeks. So that's 2 strikers we now have out injured. It's the first episode of the series and I'm already really annoyed. Oh, breathe. Let's hope that next episode goes better. So, it's nearly the end of August. Already, there's only 1 more game in August. We'll see how things go. I might be back. I mean, if I want to have self-inflicted punishment, I could come back for the Atletico Madrid game, but maybe we'll try and come back for a game that we might win. Just to give us that victorious feeling. But probably around the Atletico Madrid, Malaga, maybe Leganes. I don't know. I'll see how I feel, see how the season goes, see how we do in our next game against Girona. But that is it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button. Feel free to leave any comments below. Let me know how awful we did in that last game. Tell me if you've got any ideas of how to improve the tactics. Have you got a Deportivo save of your own on Football Manager? How are you getting on? I'm interested to know. Please subscribe to the channel as well and tick the little dingy bell to stay notified of when I upload a new video. But like I said, that is it for episode 1 of Súper Dépor. So I'll see you next time.